Program Mode. Press the Mode button and go to Program Mode. This is where individual programs are accessed. There are more than 2,000 sound programs, and they can be selected in a few different ways. The value dial, and plus and minus buttons, or the touch screen by first touching this pop-up button to the left of the name. The programs are organized in categories. There are 17 categories and one user category. It makes it easy to find a sound in the instrument family you need, for example, keyboards, organs, guitars, etc. The categories can be selected with the tabs on the left and right. There are subcategories along the top. The scroll bar on the bottom allows access to more programs. Simply touch the program you want. Touching Cancel or pressing the Exit button would return you to the previous program. Touching OK will bring you to the main screen of the selected program. There are a few other ways to view and select programs using the screen. For example, touch here. Banks. There are 20 banks of 128 programs, plus the general MIDI banks. The KORG banks are Bank A through Bank T. You can either display the banks and a list of the programs. The scroll bar on the right allows access to more programs. Or touch here to display the banks and a numeric keypad. Enter in the program number you want. The sound will switch when you press this Update button. Or just touch OK or press the Enter button to go to the home page of the program. You can also search for sounds by touching this magnifying glass icon and typing in all or part of a name. Then touch Find, then touch Next or Previous in the upper right corner, or the plus/minus buttons to step through all the programs with Smooth in the name. Once you've found the one you want, touch OK. This Find feature is available for finding combinations, set lists, wave sequences, and many other Nautilus resources, anywhere the magnifying glass icon appears. The Nautilus has a rare and powerful ability. You can change from one sound to another, and the previous sound, including any delay or reverb effects, doesn't get cut off. It continues. It's called Smooth Sound Transitions, or SST. Keyboardists have been requesting this for years, and you can do this with programs, combinations, even between setlist entries. Most importantly, you don't have to be in any special mode to do it. And you don't need to reserve half of your sounds and effects. It just works. By the way, over time you will find programs that are your favorites. When you do, touch this star in the upper right corner. Let's go back to where you select a program. When you touch Favorite at the bottom of the screen, only the programs you've marked as favorite are displayed. For now, deselect favorites by touching here again and press Exit. One of the reasons the Nautilus is so powerful is that it has 9 sound engines. Sound engines are the technologies used to create a sound. Typically, a keyboard uses one sound engine, usually sample playback technology, to create sounds. The Nautilus is much more powerful. Let's take a quick look at the 9 sound engines to understand how they work. Of course, the beauty of the Nautilus is you can simply select a sound and play it. Everything is done behind the scenes for you. But understanding each sound engine may help you in deciding what sound to use for a particular musical application. Touch here. Choose the piano category. Touch A001 Italian Grand Piano and OK. This program uses the SGX2 sound engine. The name of the sound engine is on the left of the screen, here. It's designed solely to create piano sounds. Because the Nautilus uses KORG's virtual memory technology, it can access gigabytes of sample memory in real time from the internal solid-state drive. This allows KORG to sample every note of a piano at up to 12 velocities with no looping. There are 4 world-class pianos sampled in this way, plus a prepared piano with many unique piano effects. The SGX2 responds like a real piano, from adjusting the piano lid to true string resonance. Press Exit. Touch the pop-up button, touch Bank 10 key, and enter the number 63 and OK. This uses the EP1 sound engine, designed to create electric piano sounds using MDS, multi-dimensional synthesis. Several reed and tine electric pianos have been sampled. Then MDS technology is able to separate the mechanical noises from the true tonal harmonics, giving separate control over the two. The tonal harmonics are analyzed and put back together in two dimensions, velocity and decay. This makes the velocity and decay of the EP1's tine and reed electric pianos seamless, with no sample looping. Unlike typical samples, MDS allows complete real-time control of the electric piano sound. The EP1 has modeled amp and pedal effects inside the sound engine separate of the Nautilus effects section. In this example, the intensity of the pedal effect is adjusted using the Effect RT control knob. Other pedal effects can be selected here. Press Exit twice. Select B25. CX3 Organ 888 SW1. This organ program uses the CX3 sound engine, a modeled tone wheel organ. This isn't sampling. This sound engine recreates how a real drawbar organ creates sound. For example, go to Tone Adjust and touch here to access sliders 9 through 17. Now we can adjust the drawbars on the screen by touching and dragging. Press Exit. A rotary speaker effect is right inside of the CX3 sound engine, separate of the Nautilus effects section. Flicking the joystick forward changes the speed. No need to hold it, it acts like a switch. There are three Nautilus sound engines designed for analog synthesis: the MS-20EX, the Poly-6EX, and the AL1. Select D57 Star Cycle Lead. The MS-20EX recreates the unique oscillators, filters, and interface of the legendary KORG MS-20 from 1978, plus many new synthesis features. You can connect cables by touching and dragging. Press Exit and touch here and move knobs directly on the screen. Press Exit. Select C10. String Pad JSY. In 1981, KORG released the popular Poly-6, recreated here with the Poly-6EX sound engine. Like with the MS-20EX, you can access and control the Poly-6 interface directly on the screen. E42 Harmonic Double Bubble. This next analog synthesis sound engine, the AL1, was designed from the ground up to create what an analog synthesizer can be today. Remember, these analog synths use modeling, not sampling, giving you incredible flexibility. C55 Steel Strings XY. This next sound engine uses a completely different technology, physical modeling. The STR1 pluck string synth is used to create sounds that are plucked or struck, for example, guitars, basses, bells, electric pianos, and more. Instead of just sampling a guitar note, you can literally design what the string is made of, whether it's plucked, struck, or scraped, even how much the string is dampened. A125 Mod 7 E-Piano. One of the most popular synth technologies is frequency modulation. Sounds are created by modulating one waveform with another. The Mod 7 modular wave shaping VPM synth, the next engine we'll look at, takes this technology to a whole new level, allowing not only waveform modulation, but powerful sample modulation and processing. The Mod 7 can create traditional FM sounds like this, but can also create sounds like this. The 8 sound engines we just looked at are referred to as EXI. You can see EXI written here. The next sound engine is the HD1 high-definition PCM synth. The HD1 is different than the EXI sound engines. Consequently, it's not possible for HD1 programs and EXI programs to exist in the same program bank. Any bank, other than the general MIDI banks, can be assigned to HD1 or EXI in Global. We'll look at that in the Global and Media chapter. Select program H50. Beautiful camera strings. This sampling and wave sequencing synth takes sample playback to a new level. With superior sound, starting with KORG's proprietary low aliasing sample playback oscillators, full bandwidth multimode resonant filters, and extraordinarily fast and smooth envelopes and LFOs. Plus, virtual memory technology gives the HD1 access to gigabytes of onboard samples in exquisite detail, from orchestral brass to world instruments to human-played phrases, all instantly available. The HD1 sound engine is also used to create the Nautilus drum kits. The HD1 also features wave sequencing, the ability to play a series of samples one after another either rhythmically or smoothly, all lockable to tempo. Each step can have its own duration and pitch, creating incredible sound movement possibilities. Every program in Combi is set up with this joystick program to control the sound, usually in this way. Left to right will control pitch, forward will add vibrato, and back, or JS-Y as it is called, will affect the overall sound in some way. These switches are set up for each program in Combi as well. Switch 1 will modify the sound in some way, or turn portamento on and off. Switch 2 will modify the sound in some way, or in many cases lock the position of JS-Y. If one of these controllers is extremely important to the sound, it will be included in the name as we see here. And finally, these switches adjust the octave. Pressing octave minus and plus simultaneously resets the transposition. Holding down Shift at the same time will transpose up or down. Shift and both buttons resets the transpose. You may be familiar with vector synthesis on the Kronos that allowed the control of multiple parameters by moving the vector joystick. On the Nautilus, it is controlled from the screen. Press Page, Basic XY Controllers, XY Control tab. It can also be programmed to make those vector movements automatically. There are 3 ways to dig in and edit any program. The first, and the simplest way, is using these knobs. Make sure this is set to sound. And use these 6 knobs to control filter cutoff, filter resonance, envelope generator intensity, and envelope release time. This one, the amount of effect, usually a modulation effect such as chorus or flanger. And this knob controls the amount of ambient effect, like reverb or delay. The second way is to go here to Tone Adjust. There are 3 pages of the most useful parameters for this particular program. Press Exit. And finally, you can go deep into the individual parameters of the sound engines, a sound designer's paradise. You can press Page and select the page group you want to edit. Press Exit. Or you'll notice that every program has this overview on the top page, showing basic information about the sound engine's settings. For example, here we can see the filter configuration. Touch those graphics to jump directly to that page group. Once you've edited the program, you can write it to memory by going to the Page menu and touching Write Program. Touch the name and use the screen to rename the program. Touch OK. You can change the category and subcategory here. Touch here and choose the bank and program number you want to write to. Touch OK. Now touch OK here. As before, the screen asks you to confirm the write command. For now, touch Cancel or press Exit. The way the quick access buttons are set up from the factory, button F jumps directly to the write page. Press Exit. A few more points about programs. A single program can have 2 EXI sound engines at the same time. For example, an SGX2 and a Mod 7 together. Also, every program, no matter what sound engine it uses, has access to a 3-band parametric EQ, 12 insert effects, 2 master effects, and 2 total effects. We'll look at the effects in the Sequencer and Effects chapter. You can quickly create simple splits and layers from program mode. Touch Quick Layer. The program we started with is here. Let's choose a string program to layer with it. We can write our new combination by touching here, but for now, touch Cancel. Touch Quick Split. For now, leave the 2 programs as is. It splits here, but select the split point parameter, hold down Enter, and play the note where you want the split to happen. You can change the octave of each sound, as well as the volume levels. Touch Write Split Combi. It's automatically given it a descriptive name, and you can set the category and subcategory here. You can rename it if you want, and then choose what combination bank and location to save it to. For now, press Exit twice.